Welcome to Boston's Public Garden, founded in 1837. And it is nothing short of an exceptional autumn day and a perfect day to give you a nice stroll through the public garden here in Boston. And while I do so, I'm going to read from some of the information that I found on Wikipedia, of all places, about the public garden here in Boston. The garden, also known as Boston Public Garden, is a large park in the heart of Boston, Massachusetts, adjacent to Boston Common. It is part of the Emerald Necklace system of parks and is bounded by Charles Street and Boston Common to the east, Beacon Street to the north, Arlington Street and Back Bay to the west, and Boylston Street to the south. The public garden was the first public botanical garden in America. So you're actually looking at the first public botanical garden in America. And as I begin the tour, I notice that there is this beautiful sculpture of some ducks. I know that one of my followers, Philip, this kind of reminds me of something that you would really appreciate here. Look at this beautiful sculpture, and you have the mother duck with the little ducklings. You can see. I don't know how many there are. There's 2, 4, 6. She's got quite a few ducklings here. So I'm going to continue with the tour, and in doing so, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the history of the public garden here. Boston's Back Bay, including the land the garden sits on, was mudflats until filling began in the early 1800s. The land of the public garden was earliest filled as the area that is now Charles Street had been used as a rope walk since 1796. The town of Boston granted rope makers use of the land on July 30th, 1794, after a fire had destroyed the rope walks in a more populated area of the city. As a condition of its use, the rope walks proprietors were required to build a seawall and fill in the land, which is now Charles Street, and the land immediately bordering, now a part of the public garden. Just look at how beautiful this is. Much of the landfill material came from Mount Vernon, formerly a hill in Beacon Hill area of Boston. Initially, gravel and dirt were brought from the hill to the landfill area by hand cart. By 1804, a gravity railroad had been constructed to rapidly bring material from the top of the hill to the marsh. Today, Mount Vernon no longer exists, having been completely removed to be used as landfill for the Back Bay. In February 1824, the city of Boston purchased back the land granted to the rope makers for a cost of $50,000. The next year, a proposal to turn the land into a graveyard was defeated by a vote of 1,632 to 176. The public garden was established in 1837 when a philanthropist, Horace Gray, petitioned for the use of the land as the first public botanical garden in the United States. Proprietors of the Botanic Garden in Boston. The corporation was chartered with creating what is now the Boston Public Garden. Nonetheless, there was constant pressure for the land to be sold to private interests for the construction of new housing. Coming across a beautiful bridge right here. I couldn't have picked a nicer time of the year to come and visit Boston. Look at this bridge. While most of the land of the present-day garden has been filled in by the mid-1800s, the area of the Back Bay remained an undeveloped tidal basin. In 1842, the state legislature created the commissioners on Boston Harbor and the Back Bay in order to determine how to best develop the land. The state wanted to control the lands and to build an upper-class neighborhood in the area beyond the public garden. The city of Boston petitioned the state to grant control over the basin in the hopes of generating significant revenue from any developments that would be built after filling it in. See a gentleman here playing some music. I was wondering where the music was coming from. It's a Chinese instrument that he's playing. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Beautiful. Quite beautiful. When the State Commission rejected Boston's petition, the Boston City Council threatened to sell the garden to housing developments, which would have significantly reduced the desirability of the area for the upper-class elite that the state was hoping to attract. Goes on to give you a lot of information about the public garden here. That pond that we were just that I just walked across says during the warmer seasons, the 4 acres pond is home of the great many ducks as well as one or more swans. A popular tourist attraction is the swan boats, which began operating in 1877. Here you see a monument to none other than, I would imagine, George Washington. Look at that. Could not ask for a nicer day. And here's another angle of the Washington Monument with some of the skyline of Boston in the background. Just beautiful. Guess I should stop and smell the roses, as the saying goes. Or maybe let you stop and smell the roses. I believe not too far from the public garden area here in Boston is the location, the filming set of the popular TV show Cheers, where everybody supposedly knows your name, and that is a spot that I'll probably try to find. I can't imagine leaving Boston without having found a place where everybody supposedly knows my name. I don't know if I'll walk in and everybody will say Tom, but we'll find out. Here is another monument. It says to commemorate the discovery of the inhaling or ether causes insensibility pain first proved to the world at the Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. To commemorate the discovery that the inhaling of ether causes insensibility to pain. There you have it. All right, so that would be your tour of the public garden here in beautiful, beautiful Boston, Massachusetts. As I walk out, I see another statue over here that I should probably include in the video. All about where you go, there's these squirrels you can see, and he's coming up to see if I've got anything to give him. See, a little bit skittish. See, there he is. He's just wondering if I've got anything to give him. You go throughout wherever you go in the field here, you see these squirrels, and they're all getting ready for the long winter. Maybe this little guy will let me film him. Little guy, little girl. Not quite sure. I don't think he's quite sure, or she's quite sure. You can see. Oh, there they go. All right. And here is another statue in memory of George Robert White, 1847 to 1922. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. All right. Hope you enjoyed the visit to the Boston Public Gardens.